So we are talking with Anna Serrano from the Canadian Film Centre. So what is the Canadian Film Centre?
Thanks, Tammy. Thanks for speaking with us. So my name is Anna Serrano, and I'm the Chief Digital Officer of the Canadian Film Centre, which is a 25-year-old institution founded by Norman Jewison. And our core mandate really is to develop the next generation of talent in film, television, digital media, composing talent, actors, etc. And we have been at the forefront of really building that talent capacity in Canada for, as I said, for the past 25 years. And most of our alumni now are in key positions around the Canadian broadcast and film industry and digital media landscape. And for many of the shows that you guys know, whether it's Rookie Blue to CSI, Canadian Film Centre are all over those shows. Essentially, what we do is we develop this talent. We support the commercialization of their products, of their properties, and we also are interested in kind of building the sustainability of the businesses that these talents end up creating, whether that's a production company or whether that's a digital media agency.
Awesome. How does one become a resident at CFC?
Well, there are a number of different programs that we run. As I said, there's a series of film programs where we have residencies for directors, producers, writers. There's a number of TV programs like the Showrunner Boot Camp, the TV Primetime program, where you can be part of a screenwriting room. And then there's the interactive or digital media programs, which span from our digital entertainment business accelerator called Idea Boost, which accelerates up to 12 companies a year. So it really depends on where you want to put yourself in, but essentially the best way to do this is to just go online and look at all the different program offerings that we have and look at the guidelines for how we choose, our applicants.
Okay. Have you seen a steady interest in people wanting to become a part of the creative industry?
I would say that I think, people are still very much interested in creating content, and certainly the creative industries are becoming more of an industry that parents aren't so worried about, because it is a wealth generator, and people know that it's a $3 billion industry, for example, in Canada, given all the different parts of the creative industries, and it might even be more. So from a career perspective, certainly I think lots of people are interested in playing a role in it. What's interesting now, I think, is for those people who are super keen, they don't actually, it's the barriers to entry for being a star, let's say, or for creating your own media content, or for developing your own channel have dropped. So a 14-year-old can create their own YouTube channel and start getting a sense of what it means to be an on-camera personality and to create content on a weekly basis and to listen to their audiences comment back on their content. So I think it's a very exciting time for people who have stories to tell, who have messages to convey, and who have the kinds of qualities that it takes to be part of media.
You covered a little bit about how the barriers have dropped a little bit and how there's a broader desire, because I know, hearing through the different talks at Banff this week, how consumers are content hungry. Mm-hmm. Other than the digital component, what major changes have you seen over the past few years since the center opened?
I think the digital component is massive. So it's not just, it wasn't just a kind of like, here's digital and it changed a little bit of the industry. Like digital and the technology surrounding digital, enabling platforms, and etc., are changing the entire value chain of the industry. So all the way from, ideation, how you come up with ideas, financing. So for example, ideation, you could be co-creating ideas with a fan base. In terms of financing, you could start to crowdfund. to development. You can start to cast alongside your fan base, and there are mechanisms to do that. To production, obviously there's all the special effects and all the post-production workflow, the tools that actually enable you to do production differently. Not to mention the cost of production has gone down dramatically. To the disruption in distribution, which is there are now all these channels, not just the regular broadcasters, etc. And then the fact that because of the massive influx of content, discoverability is a problem. So how do you get access to audiences? There's a whole other slew of work that needs to be done. And then on top of that whole thing, there's a social layer if you want to keep engaging your audiences across everything. So it's not just a matter of digital has kind of affected a single part of it. Digital is changing everything. So it's a time of flux, but it's also a time of great opportunity.
Awesome. What types of exhibition and distribution opportunities are afforded to Idea Boost cohorts and to your residents? I noticed on your website that it states in there about exhibition and distribution opportunities.
Well, we have different programs that we run that actually end up, so we have the CFC Features, where we in fact create feature films, and that's a partnership with E1, and so that's a program where the distributor is already part and parcel of the program. In the case of Idea Boost, which is a business accelerator, our partners are Chorus, Google, and Shaw Media. So those types of companies are actually looking at the products and companies we're accelerating through the 4 months and seeing whether any of them require further investment. So because they're companies, it's not really distribution, but more like Chorus, Google, and Shaw are potential channels for further investment or potential channels for partnerships should the property be specifically require that. So at the Film Center, we really try to ensure that our programs are inserted into the industry in such a way that they are critical to they're a critical part of the entertainment ecosystem.
At CFC, do the residents have opportunity to team up with alumni and mentors to spread their wings and gather more knowledge from past experience?
Yeah, I think the one thing that makes CFC unique as a kind of quasi-educational institution is that we really are a community. We're the place you want to get to access an industrial network that's global and to access resources that's global. And the way we do that is through building a really tightly knit community of current residents and or participants in all of our programs and the alumni network that we've developed. As well as really hooking them up to our board of directors, our board of advisors, and all the different advisory groups that are attached to our programs.
Okay, so for those who again aren't familiar with it, it's not a school like Vancouver Film School.
Not at all. Yeah. So we don't consider ourselves a school or a university or a college or a professional development space. We really are an industrial-driven postgraduate place that helps people who are a little bit farther along than emerging, but just below, let's say, mid-career. And even we also have some programming for mid-career and later stage content people. And it's really about accelerating their growth as practitioners, as entertainment practitioners, and expanding their networks and giving them the right types of skills to succeed in this new age. So it's about the next generation of commercially successful storytellers in any medium.
Awesome. With the success of the center, are there any plans to open centers in other provinces?
Not at all. We're a national organization, so we have reach across Canada.
I was just thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's covered pretty well everything.
Okay.
And you can